What's up, people? It's your boy OT, and welcome to Steady Bro. So I've been going on about how the GMC regulations could shape the future of the PA profession. Let's get a backstory of this. The GMC is the General Medical Council and is a statutory body that governs how medicine is practiced in the United Kingdom. It sets the standards which doctors and universities providing medical education must adhere to for one to be able to call themselves doctor. Basically, they decide who is a doctor and who is not. The GMC was established in, I think, 1858, if I'm not mistaken. Prior to that, there was no way of determining who was a doctor and who wasn't. The title of a doctor was just local. In England, you'd be called a doctor, but if you were to go somewhere like Scotland, you wouldn't be called a doctor and you wouldn't be able to practice. There was no overarching body that could point and say, this guy has met so and so standards, be a doctor. Hence, the establishment of the GMC to make sure that the public can trust whoever puts that title of a doctor upon himself. At the beginning of the GMC, it was state-sanctioned self-regulation, as in the GMC was composed mainly of doctors that govern other doctors. But as time progressed, due to public outcries and certain scandals that did take place in the 1990s, the main ones that really put the nail in the coffin were the Shipman and the Bristol incident. I will not talk about these incidents in this particular video, but in future videos, I think we can make mention of it and see what happens and why regulation is rather important. Around 2015, I think the head of the GMC, during a speech, made mention that the regulation of physician associates was a matter of necessity. This could be that carried out by the GMC or the HCPC, primarily to protect the physicians under whom physician associates work and to protect the physician associate themselves. In 2017, the GMC felt that they were the most suitable candidate to take on this responsibility of regulating physician associates. This mainly was due to the fact that physician associates do work rather in close proximity to doctors, and GMC, with their history of regulating doctors, they felt they'll be the most suitable to really aid the regulation of these professions to make sure there's a symbiotic relationship between the physician associate and the doctor. There are always two sides to a coin. GMC felt was the most suitable. The Faculty of Physician Associates also felt the GMC was the right candidate to regulate physician associates. However, the head of the council of the BMA, British Medical Association, had some reservations regarding this. He felt that given the intrinsic difference between doctors and physician associates and the structure of medicine, the interest of doctors and patients would be better served if there is a different regulatory body regulating each profession. In 2019, it was announced that the GMC would regulate physician associates, and you can expect that the BMA did not hesitate to make known their fundamental opposition to that idea. They felt it very important to stress the fact that this regulation should not be to the detriment of doctors. The GMC did agree in a sense that, yes, welcome this responsibility of regulating physician associates. However, the cost must not be a burden to doctors, i.e. the government must put in place a fund to allow the setting up of these regulations and whatever associated cost. Doctors, the money is not going to come from your pocket. How does this affect physician associates? Once the GMC begins to regulate the profession of physician associates, they will decide who is a physician associate and who is not. It boils down to this. If you're on the GMC register as a physician associate, you're a physician associate. If you're not on that register, you are not. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be a 2-year period of grace to allow people to transition from whatever register they are on to that of the GMC. This then begs the question, if I'm already on the PA voluntary register, why can't the GMC just take my name from that register and put it on their register? A GMC is saying, yes, being on the voluntary register will make your life easier, but to ensure certain standards are met, you will have to register with them too. Physician associates who will qualify after the GMC has begun regulating the profession, there will be no need for you to go register with the voluntary register. You just have to register directly with them. Basically, the GMC controls every aspect of the medical education, from when you enter into a medical school to when you come out. They decide whatever standard you are supposed to meet in order for you to be deemed a doctor. They will make similar regulations for physician associates, creating a standard that every university offering the PA course must meet in order for their graduates to be deemed as physician associates, which in a way will be beneficial to physician associates in terms of PR. It will create trust with your employers and to create trust with the public, because the public knows, okay, there's a GMC, and if this individual is standing here with a title of a physician associate, he or she must have met certain standards to carry this title. You feel me? So it creates a certain degree of trust, which is welcome. Finally, but definitely not the least, they will decide who is fit to practice. Any fitness to practice inquiry that needs to be made, it will be dealt with by the GMC. And you know, when the GMC calls you for fitness to practice, it's between you and the man up there. It's a matter. In order to be able to register with the GMC, you must satisfy two criteria mainly. One, that you are competent and you have the skills to be a PA. And secondly, there is no concern with your practice. If you're already on the PA voluntary register, as far as the GMC is concerned, you are competent to be a PA. If you are yet to graduate, what is necessary will be the certificate, the degree from your university, plus evidence of you having passed the PA national exams. You have to self-declare that I, Steady Bro, hereby declare that over the course of my practice, there have been no concerns raised in A, B, and C. Therefore, I should be allowed to practice as a physician associate. Then you need a reference from an employer, and if you're regulated, evidence that you are in good standing. These are preliminary details and could be subject to change. I'm just letting you know what is going on. Let's say you're a qualified physician associate, but you are not working. To get on the register, you just need to show evidence that you passed your university, plus evidence that you passed the exams, the PA national exam. And that should be enough to get you on the register. Of course, you'll also have to demonstrate that you are fit to practice, as I said above. They also did make mention that for individuals who've exhausted their attempts at the PA national exams, I think currently they only allow 3 times. So after 3 times, if you've not passed, you really cannot be a PA. I think they've made mention that there will be additional attempts to facilitate these people becoming PAs. They have not finalized anything, but there seems to be avenues for exploration. Fingers crossed you get in this time, because we need you in the family. You know, La Familia, it's all about us. Currently, as PAs, after so amount of years, you have to recertify to show that you are so competent. The GMC has not really put in place or made clear how this will take place. However, the need for continuous development is just a matter of fact. But the form it will take, will it be like how doctors do it? Like doctors do not have to sit an exam every 6 years to show that they are doctors. Just know you will need to keep your competence up. As time changes, you will need to show a certain degree of evidence that you are keeping up with the times. So now the question comes, when will the profession be regulated? Based on the current timeline, this seems to be in mid-2022. This is because certain legislations need to be passed first to allow the GMC to regulate the profession. And as you all know, COVID has not been very helpful in this regard, and it has slowed certain things down. But I do believe things are in progress. And by end of 2022, fingers crossed, the profession will be regulated and will be out here in these streets with our protected title. It's been a long time coming, and it seems that regulation is finally coming home. But one thing I must make clear is what I've said in this video is definitely not exhaustive. Frankly, I don't think I can put everything in this video. So I'll put a link in the description where you can find further information to answer any questions you may have. I hope you found this video useful. It's your boy Yoti, and I'm out. Salute!